What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of January 22nd and the 23rd of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I do hope that you had a good week and you're ready for the weekend. We do have a Mercury Sun Cazimi this weekend. We're going to see the moon finish up in Virgo and come into Libra. So there's a lot going on this weekend, of course, and Venus is slowing down, trine Uranus. It's going to be sitting there for all of next week. So we get a lot of Venus trine Uranus, and we're going to start to feel that pretty intense this week. So let's check out the weekend. Boom. Boom. All right, we got that sun at 2 degrees on Saturday. We'll finish off Saturday at 3 degrees, but it is it's kind of an emotional day in Aquarius. So it could be this emotional energy about what we really want to connect to, our people, our friends, our groups. There's definitely a lot of stuff going on in the world, ideals, hopes, trying to figure so much out. And with Mercury just getting closer and closer to the sun and going to have that Cazimi point, it's actually, going to be really early Sunday morning. It's a great message. Like, it really is a lot of channeled insight. It's almost connecting timelines. It could be out of this world. And even, when we have this Uranus, which is now direct in trine to Venus, which they're going to get pretty tight next week as Venus will station at 11 degrees and Uranus is still moving forward and pressing towards 11, very slow, of course, but it is moving. There's actually really exciting people and relationships and an understanding of our values and what that looks like in our environments and what that looks like, in the world. So it's almost interesting. We could get a lot of insight about the world. We could get a lot of insight about where things are going. I know in the news there's a lot of countries right now just kind of backing off of a lot of the narrative over the last 2 years. And then there's other countries that are doubling down. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag when it comes to the collective energy and what the world's going through. But we definitely want to look and pay attention to the insights that are coming through, because right now we're connecting dots that are so important. So we're getting this great message. Remember, the Mercury Cazimi or Venus Cazimi in retrograde is where they are in between the sun and the earth in transit. So it's Mercury or Venus passing the earth in transit from a helio perspective. So it is the sun, our conscious light, burning this Aquarian energy. So it is about this future. It is about these ideals. It is about genius and what that looks like with the people in our lives. So I think a lot of it is our place in society, what we're choosing to connect to, the people we're choosing to connect to, because Uranus brings up the people too. And Venus trine Uranus can definitely want a lot of eccentric energy or different people or people that are kind of breaking chains or going into new territory. There's almost like this kind of trailblazer energy. So, maybe you're having some really amazing insights into the trailblazing future that you can create in your life while becoming this group of one, while using your unique genius and your unique self, and also hooking up with other people that are trying to go into a future, build something strong, fortified, and unique and individuated for a future as well. We're going to see the moon in Virgo finishing up, and it's done with the oppositions to Jupiter and Neptune, and it's done with the trine, of course, to Uranus, but it will make a trine to the North Node, and the North Node is still kind of trine the sun, and it's moving towards a trine to Pluto, and the moon's going to trine Pluto today as well. So we do get this, kind of grand Earth trine energy for this Saturday. So it can feel like a very earthly day, a very real Saturday where maybe you want to get some things done. You really want to pay attention to what maybe the money aspects in life, the where you're really going. Especially Venus trine Uranus, like looking at the markets right now, they're nasty. Bitcoin and all the cryptos, they dumped. Stock market's taking a dump. It's very interesting to see what's going on with money and, in this earth energy, kind of have to pay attention to money. So in your own life, even make sure that you kind of have your routine set and your financials at least in a place that you feel comfortable with it, and maybe make changes. But this moon's going to finish up in Virgo, so it's really kind of a 2-part day. And the first part's maybe like this final order into a deeper dive into what kind of physical world you want, what kind of values you want, what kind of work you want, what kind of dedications you want, and making sure that you're going into the deep dive that does feel in harmony with wherever you are at in your life right now. And the moon will come into Libra, and gosh, it's got to go through a lot in Libra, and with squares to Venus, squares to Pluto. Even before that, it does square Mars. Mars is at 28 and going to come to 29 degrees of Sagittarius. So Mars is edgy here. So a lot of our desire right now is this big journey in life, and where is it going? And it's almost like, gosh, we just came out of Mars in the galactic center. So there is this like galactic push to have us kind of go find something we like, go find something we desire, go find something exciting or happy, or, trying to find like this jovialness to life right now. And, but it's square the moon. So it's almost like action has to be taken to find that emotional satisfaction in your day-to-day life, which will help you progress forward on wherever your journey is looking to go. And I would say it's a very intuitive day, and it's intuitive action. The moon here, square Mars in Sagittarius, I feel like there is intuitive action, and it kind of comes through the connection of the timelines and the insights for radical changes that you might feel you need. We're in a time of like feeling like there's some change. I know I say it all the time. So it goes. As we come to Sunday, we're going to see the moon in Libra, and it's going to oppose Chiron and square Venus. So, and even Venus and Chiron are in kind of a loose square. So there's a little bit of that T-square energy to this Venus retrograde, which of course is tighter now in orb with Uranus. Of course, this brings up relationships huge, right? We're talking the moon in Libra, square the ruler of Libra, in retrograde in Capricorn. So much of what we've been processing is, of course, figuring out a deeper level of how to find balance within ourselves and that relationship to ourselves. But of course, that has to kind of, progress outward to people in our lives. So how we're feeling about ourselves is a good reflection of the people we have in our lives, who's around us, what the connection's like. Sun's at 3 degrees on Sunday, and it's going to come to 4, so it is kind of more expansive, but it's almost like that intuitive action on Saturday kind of leads to a little bit more of like this intuitive action for the great value of life and building a future based on that. Like we kind of want to like set ourselves up in a position to where we can get the trophy that we're looking for out of life. So maybe it's not about getting the trophy right this moment, but it's kind of like not putting yourself down or not feeling too out of balance or not feeling too wounded or weird. There can definitely feel weird on Sunday a little bit with a Mercury retrograde cazimi with the sun in Aquarius, which is already weird. And then we got, of course, the Uranus energy, moon quincunx that Uranus, and Venus trine it. It's like the greatest value and the greatest connections right now are going to come from radical life, whether it's people or your own life or jobs. It's something out of the ordinary. And maybe it's not like just leaving a job, but maybe it's like doing something different that excites you more and is more unique to you and kind of fits into your sense of what beauty is with that moon in Libra. And the square to Venus is a big one, just for like where are relationships going right now? Got to figure out the balance point there and not feel too shy or too, reserved, to be real honest with yourself, about the matter, and to not just put other people in front of you, which I think even a sun in Aquarius, that's why it's a detriment, right? It's, putting everybody else in front of yourself and not realizing how special you are, because yes, we're all special, but you still got to remember you are the king or queen in your life. So don't forget that. And what is that message that this Mercury retrograde cazimi is going to burn into our consciousness? Don't know. Like I said, could have a lot to do with where the world's going and what the future is going to look like, but it's definitely not going to be predictable. It could be weird. It could be out of the norm. There's a lot of, what could this look like? We don't really know, but maybe this weekend we get a good message of what it does look like, and we'll see what happens as we progress into next week after this weekend. Mars at 29 degrees is getting ready, I believe, on Tuesday morning to ingress into Capricorn, where it's exalted, but it's edgy here about beliefs, and people could be know-it-alls. Like, I'm just edgy. I know I was wrong. But there's also something about finding happiness right now, right? Finding joy, finding abundance, finding a journey that fits your needs as an individual and the people around you that you want to connect with. And it does kind of bring in like getting ready to put in some work, because I think this Mars in Capricorn is going to have people really ready to get down to business, especially with Venus, and they're going to be like holding hands all the way through Capricorn in February. So there's something really powerful about what we're working to create, and there could be this edgy kind of belief, and maybe, it is that belief that we have to get in order, right? Make sure that we're not tripping ourselves out over limiting beliefs, but really believing in the possibility of all things. We have Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. It is it's good to dream. It's good to believe. It's good to see magic in the reality, because that's how you're going to create what you want next month. So powerful time to envision, powerful time to use that intuition, but it definitely brings up a lot about people and relationships, and are they even worth the future? And these are hard questions you have to ask yourself, or these could also be stories about yourself that you're not good enough. And this is where we all have a pretty big value check to balance things out in our life. Because if we're not seeing the value in life with a North Node in Taurus and the value of what we can create and the abundance that is at the tip of our fingers, we're not going to be in very good harmony, I would say. And I would hate to see that happen to anybody here. And of course, Saturn's trucking through Aquarius, 14 degrees. It is going to trine the moon, of course. The moon's going to trine Saturn, I should say, on Sunday. So there's something about getting serious about people there. It's almost like more of the Venus square in Capricorn, but this is it's more like it's going to feel better if you're making smart choices that you feel emotionally connected to. And, sometimes the smart choice that is going to be more connecting in life isn't always the easy one. So even with a moon trine Saturn, it's definitely got to be about justice for your life and bringing things into balance and harmony and beauty. Or is it really worth connecting to? Is it really of the utmost value? Or are you settling for less? And I would say that this is the time to start shooting higher in life and to not settle for less. Why would we want to settle for less right now? The world already wants us to have less and less. So in ourselves, we don't want to have less. So we got to know our worth right now and create abundance. And I would say this weekend, a lot of that comes through pivotal changes in reality to get that deeper look, and then the balancing act of getting things in order, especially around relationships and financials. So you got to be paying attention to your money this weekend and the people in your life. And I believe, because it's safe to believe again, that would be very helpful for everybody. I thought it'd be fun to set up another camera. I don't know. Messing around a little bit. Of course, I'm sending you all my best. I hope you have a great weekend. I think you definitely could have a great weekend, absolutely. Especially if you're going after what you really do want, and if you're making choices based around your self-worth and your value, and kind of building relationship structure and job structure and financial structure around that self-worth. So you should know you're the shit this weekend, because knowing that could just open up some amazing doorways with some amazing insight to how to create a life based around how much of the shit you really are. Card for the day is the Knight of Wands in reverse. Oh my gosh. Well, maybe we should slow down and pay attention to our values, and that'll actually bring more creative energy, more excitement to our lives. I think if we're just kind of run around like a chicken with our head cut off, then we're not going to see the beauty in the weekend. So we kind of want to maybe slow down and make sure our heart's really in it before we just go running off into anything. But there's something about Venus trine Uranus where, I don't know, why did we get that card? Judgment reversed. I don't know. I guess there's an intuitive knowing and a sort of a call from above that's telling us where we should jump and take a risk in life and telling us where we shouldn't. And I think a lot of it has to do with, are you listening to that call or not? Or are you just ignoring that phone call from God and not willing to kind of raise up? I think judgment's important too. I think that, when I just kind of get the channel from that card, judgment in your life right now is very important. So you kind of want to be the judge of where it's going and not let other people dictate that. And God will show up in beautiful ways and ways that you could have never expected to show you how to follow the calling. But then it's like, you got to take that intuitive knowing and act on it in a way that feels intuitively called to and feels very guided and in alignment. Because I think this weekend is a lot about balance and alignment as well. And that's how you're going to connect to the future that you want to be on. And the overall is the Page of Coins upright. Yeah, there's so much opportunity out there. Like, don't think this weekend for 1 second that there's not opportunity out there. If you are curious enough to go create something, it's a possibility. And keeping that like youthful energy around you, that new things can be created and not just being so like old and this won't work. Meh. The things that you never thought could work might start working now. So, I know we still have a Mercury retrograde and a Venus retrograde and all sorts of things are not working, but you'll see the things that do start to work right now. And then also keeping a positive mindset about what can be created if you follow that inner judgment and not discard it. Then you'll know what to move quickly and passionately into and what not to. I do hope this was very helpful. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. And I will see you for the weekly. And I'll see you for the weekly tarot. And I'll see you for Monday's horoscope. And I'm so excited to be here with you. And I want to give a big shout out to High Vibe TV. It's the shit. If you're not on the app, what are you doing? I know I'm not there yet, but we're working on it. We got some really cool shows. David and I talked a bunch tonight about the future, and it's going to blow people's minds. So you might as well, if you're not there, be an early investor now in some of the big stuff that is coming, because it's gonna be exciting. I'm so excited to be a part of this and to start creating. So that's what I was doing before I filmed this video, was going over some new ways to create and getting some set stuff drawn up, and there's going to be some cool stuff. And if you're on High Vibe already, then get ready for some new sweet stuff, because I'm going to start working on it. I'm all settled in now and I'm ready to go. So there's good stuff out there. Highvibe.tv. Do join. Do check it out. And I'll catch you all when I catch you. Love you all. Peace.